Ferguson, aka Robert Ferguson, also Rob Ferguson, Robbie. I'll go by whatever you want to call me. Let me take a second and let's give it a couple seconds, couple minutes. Let some people come on here and catch this live. Now I'm coming to you live with the goal of sharing with you some information that I believe will be helpful for anyone who listens to this. And for those of you who are new to me, my name is Robert Ferguson. I have been dubbed America's Fat Loss Coach. I am the health ambassador for Stay Healthy Inc. I'm a nutritionist, fitness expert, former pro athlete, and a guy who cares. I care. That's why I share. And the goal is to provide you with thought provoking information that, with your critical thinking, you can actually make some changes. And I believe that if you listen to what I'm sharing right now, we will be able to look right through the smoke and mirrors that's out there. And we can put ourselves in a position where we can make some really good decisions for ourselves. So that is my focus. Okay. That is my focus. Now, I want to ask you a question. And this question is based on these two people that you can see in this image. You have one lady that looks happy and is obviously lean. And then you have a picture of a woman who is not lean. Um, doesn't mean she's not happy. Um, she is just there. But if I asked you which one of these two women would you say is healthy, what would be your answer? Would your answer automatically be that the lean person is healthy and the person who has excess body fat is not healthy? Well, years ago, there was this runner by the name of Jim Fix. You can look this up. Jim Fix, Jimfixx. And Jim Fix he's like a pioneer when it comes to running, right? There was this huge craze that took place, you know, early 80s, 70s, people were running everywhere. And Jim Fix was this guy that was on the cover of cereal boxes. He was on the Johnny Carson late night shows. He was in commercials. And every time you saw this guy, he was running. And when he picked up running, it was like run, Forrest, run. He had lost a significant amount of weight and he wrote these books and everybody they just started running like all over. Everybody was just running everywhere. And so many people consider Jim Fix to be the epitome or the trigger for people wanting to start running and getting healthier. Jim Fix was the man. Well, Jim Fix was also known as the guy that before he would speak, there's been many reports on this. They would see him eating everything from donuts to a whole bunch of bagels packed with cream cheese, stuff in the bacon. He kind of ate whatever he wanted, which a lot of people are like Jim in the sense that they exercise so they can eat the way they eat, not even thinking about what's going on the inside. So one day, Jim Fix, like most days, would wake up, do whatever he did, and then he would go for a run. So he goes out for a run and he never returns home. And they find Jim Fix on the side of a road where he was running, dead. Jim Fix dies. And when they do the autopsy on Jim Fix, it was discovered that he had some clogged arteries and had suffered a heart attack while he was out running. Now, on the outside, Jim Fix looked great. But on the inside, Jim Fix was a mess. Look at these two women again. I asked the question, which one of these women would you assume to be healthy? Well, one, how do we define healthy, right? Because people talk a lot about healthy, but what defines that, right? Because let's say that you eat cage-free eggs, chickens that birth eggs, cage-free, organic, and you say, well, that's healthy. Okay, we hear you. But I have vegan friends that will tell you that eating any type of animal is not healthy. So it's up for debate for each person. However, when it comes to your gut health, your gut microbiome, when it comes to microbiome, your gut microbiome, when it comes to that, we can define what's healthy and what's not. Now, what you are not aware of when you look at these photos is the woman who is a little overweight. She has some excess body fat. She's down about 30 pounds. And for about 4 months, she's been eating in a way that has improved the health of her gut. So from within, she has a balance of healthy gut bacteria. She used to have headaches all the time. She doesn't have them anymore. She had a lot of challenges with inflammation. She doesn't have that anymore. She used to be constipated. She doesn't have that anymore. And she's thriving with her health. But when you look at a person, you don't know that she's in transition, right? She hasn't fully transformed to demonstrate on the outside what has been taking place on the inside, but she is in a really good position. And if she came across a virus, if you know what I'm saying, because her gut health is in a good place, she's less likely to experience severity. She's less likely to find herself in a hospital. She's less likely to fall prey to many of the symptoms that come with some of these viruses that people are concerned with because she has a healthy gut. Now, the lean, thin woman who has the makeup on, she's smiling, she's a socialite, she has the Instagram popping, everybody looks at her as beautiful, she's lean, she's working out, she's doing all of these things. When we did her lab work for her gut, total dysbiosis, meaning she has an imbalance and she is in pain. Now, she puts out there that life is great. She's smiling and she's happy and life is super. But on the inside, she's struggling, people. She's struggling. She has major gut issues. She can barely eat anything without having to like put herself in a fetal position and just feel absolutely horrible. What you see on the outside is not a direct representation of what's taking place on the inside. See, we created this course called the 30-day microbiome makeover because your gut microbiome is your health. Your health is your gut microbiome. We've known this for years. And the first modern day physician, Hippocrates, once said, all disease begins in the gut. And if all disease begins in the gut, that means all discomfort begins in the gut. That means better health begins in the gut. I mean, I hope you guys are getting this. I'm keeping it short. I'm keeping it simple, but there is a significant call out for people to improve their gut health. And when the gut health is improved, weight loss becomes easier. You absorb nutrients much better. Migraines tend to go away. Inflammation fades. Energy, clarity, brain clarity, all these things, mental health upgrades because you have better balance in your gut. You cannot argue this. This is science. So when you see people looking a certain way, don't assume that they got it going on because they don't. And there's a whole bunch of people pretending and putting themselves out there as though life is absolutely amazing. And it's not. I coach a lot of these people that look amazing on the outside. Many of them are celebrities, many of them are popular. But I know the struggle that they're in, and the struggle is real. There are many people that look a certain way on the outside that most people would assume they're doing well, and they're not. And there's many people who don't look fit on the outside, and they are dealing with some excess body fat. And guess what? And they're not feeling well. They're the same. But there's a whole bunch of people, hear me on this, a whole bunch of people that have excess body fat. They look like they're struggling, that they're having a tough time, but they're not, because they're in transition. Okay, here's another example. I had a client who was 449 pounds. And at 449 pounds, when she lost 100 pounds, we would go places and people would assume she's not doing anything because she's still 349 pounds. But they don't know that she's already lost 100 pounds. No one knows. That's why it's so important. Not only do we improve our health from within, but our mental mindset that helps us stay motivated and inspired, it must be intrinsic, meaning it must begin from within. All the stuff on the outside, if we're going after, that's going to throw you off. And it's going to hinder your potential of getting to where you most want to be. If you don't understand gut health, which 99.95% of the people don't, then you're not informed. And if you're not informed, and let's say that you partially get gut health, you're going to be marketed to, and you're going to find yourself buying products that science is teaching us is probably causing you to have more of an imbalance with your gut. So you're doing the right thing, right? Assuming it's the right product, but unfortunately, you're creating more damage and you have absolutely no idea. Now, that is scary because you're going to start to see more products, whether it's cereal, whether it's a shake, whether it's noodles, and they're going to be marketing probiotics to you. They're going to be talking about this is good for the gut because so many people are constipated. So many people have gut problems. And why is that? Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut. He also said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. Food is going to be your biggest resource, and how you eat food, not products, but food, in order to improve your health from within. I mean, come on, people. I'm just gonna keep it real. So many people get taken advantage of with marketing. It's kind of like when I walk people through how to read a label. I always ask this question when I'm coaching a client. Do you know how to read a label? And the majority of the time, people say yes. And then I let them talk a little bit, and I realize that they don't know how to read a label. And then I teach them how to read a label. And the outcome is always the same. Wow, I didn't know that. How can they do that? Oh my goodness. But remember, when I first brought it up, they said they knew how to read a label. You know how many personal trainers I continue to meet? How many fitness experts I continue to meet? And they tell me they know how to read a label. And then when we really sit down and have a conversation about it, they don't. They don't. Most people don't. But most people think they do. Now, there's a lot I don't know about. But when it comes to this area, nutrition, weight loss, body composition, I know this and I know it really well. And so that's why I can push the envelope and I can challenge people. And when I challenge people, the goal is to get them to look at things a little differently so that they can experience things a little differently. And here's the take home, and I'll end with this. If your gut is in balance, and let's say you're still overweight and you got 50 pounds to lose, that's fine. Because when the gut is healthy, that means your immunity is healthy. So, yes, you look like you would have a tough time if you catch a virus, but on the inside, you're primed, you're ready, and you're going to thrive through it. But for those people who look on the outside not so healthy and their gut is experiencing an imbalance, well, the same as someone who's thin and they experience an imbalance. There's a lot of people, talk to more people and you'll hear this, where people who are very fit on the outside end up getting a virus and they didn't make it. That's because they looked good on the outside, but they were struggling on the inside and they didn't even know it. So smile if you will, look and put it out there like you got it going on. But if your gut is not in a good, healthy place, you're setting yourself up for some serious, serious problems. Okay, the data is there, it's very clear. We must get our gut health in a good place. And that doesn't mean buying a product to speed up that process. That doesn't mean you're going to see advertisements more and more. You're going to hear people like talking about this because the science is so fascinating on what we understand about gut health. It's so like it will compel you to want to take action because the science is clear on how important getting your gut health in a good place is. That marketers, right, people who sell products will use that science to get your attention and then position their product as a solution to what the science has been so clear about. Unbelievable. Like as I sit here, I'm looking at, like I get these journals, and that's what motivated me to do this post today. Because I talk about this stuff with my clients, and they're informed because that's my job. But I'm sitting here looking at this journal that I got, and this journal is exposing some of these products. So I'm looking at, for instance, Special K. They have a probiotic cereal that is out there in the market. Now, if you learn and hear me talk about the importance of gut health, you talk to the average person, they're like, yeah, probiotics are a good thing. You would assume, hey, if you want better gut health, buy things that speak to gut health, probiotics, and all of that. And if you really don't know any better, you'll have people selling you products that, and they're using terms like prebiotic and with probiotic and postbiotic and symbiotic. And they know more than you do. So of course, whatever they say is going to come across as though it makes total sense. And because you're uninformed and you don't know any better, and you don't have anyone to call like myself or any of our coaches that are informed, then you will just fall prey to what most people fall prey to. And that's sad because so many of these products are misleading. It's like yesterday, I have a client who looks like an Instagram model, absolutely gorgeous, and she's struggling with her gut health. And she texts me because I'm coaching her. She saw this product on TV. It was being advertised, and she saw it again on, I think, Facebook or something. So she asked me about it. And I quickly consulted her and says, absolutely no way that's going to do more damage than good. And her text back to me was like, that's why you're my coach, because that's how you use a coach. So many people are guessing and Googling and trying to research things in this space about nutrition and health. And then they assume they get it, but they're running on false information. They're doing themselves a disservice because they just don't have clarity. It's kind of like me going into a legal battle, and instead of hiring a competent lawyer or expertise, someone with the expertise in the legal world, I just start Googling and putting together things based on how I comprehend or understand what I'm Googling and what information is giving me. I'm setting myself up not to win. Don't do that to yourself, people. Seriously. And that's why we created this course so that people can be informed. Because once you have the real information, then you won't fall prey to the misinformation. Woo, that sounds good. That's treatable. Anyway, if you have questions, please post, put it up here. Let me know. I want to give a shout out to Peggy Hill. Thank you, Peggy, for the support, and thank you for like joining in with us. I want to give a shout out to my man David Putnam, who is one of my favorite clients I like to talk to, who's always on a quest to be at his best. I want to give a shout out to Nancy Till. Nancy, I appreciate you. You are awesome. I want to give a shout out to Tony Lauren. Tony, I've known you for about 16 years, and you have done extremely well. So anyway, I would like to give out more shout outs, but I have an appointment I must jump over to. But I was inspired to share this with you. And there was a lot in a little as far as time. But listen to it again. And do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, you know, catch us with every notification, right? So we will share information with you. And also, if you're on Facebook or any other platform that you're catching this, share it and like it and comment and tell people and tag them so that people can become more informed, or at least they can think about what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Well,